Good morning, happy Thursday, and welcome to this wonderful sunny day, a day that we've never seen before in our lives, and the first day of the rest of our lives, and we're sharing this wonderful day together. Students in Dearborn Public Schools, where we inspire, educate, and celebrate all day, every day, we're assembled here where we're Fordson strong all year long in order to give reverence and to give honor and homage to those who are around your age or a little older, who show the epitome of patriotism by literally giving up their lives for us to have the life that we have. Literally falling soldiers so that we can stand for freedom, justice, and equality. As we move on, we just want to welcome our service, and we want to express it through our verb and through our actions. Welcoming someone is not just a feeling, it's a verb, it's an action, and we want to welcome them to our wonderful school. With that in mind, we're about to proceed with the presentation of colors from our ritual team. We will now move forward with the pledge from retired Master Sergeant of the United States Marine Corps, Philip S. Smith.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
We will now proceed forward with the prayer from Chaplain and Commander of the Ritual Team, Rick Naviu.
All rise. Let us pray. Dear God, on this Memorial Day, we come before you with heavy hearts, remembering the sacrifices made by those who served our country and gave their lives for our freedom. We pray for the families and loved ones of those who lost their lives in service of our nation. May they find comfort and peace in the knowledge that their loved ones made the ultimate sacrifice for a cause greater than themselves. We ask that you watch over and protect the men and women who continue to serve in our armed forces. Give them strength, courage, and wisdom as they work to defend our country and uphold the values of the freedom and justice. We also pray for our leaders that they may have the wisdom and compassion to make decisions that honor the sacrifices of those who have gone before them, and safeguard the rights and freedoms that we hold dear. Amen.
Thank you. That was powerful. Thank you all. Okay, as we move forward, we have remarks from Dearborn Mayor Abdallah H. Hammond. Give him some, everyone.
Good morning. Wow, thank you so much to the one person. Good morning. It's great to be with you all today. It's great to be back in the greatest high school in the whole country. I have to start by telling you that Dearborn High and Edsel Ford invited me out, but I declined both those requests. And so I hope you guys recognize that I'm very true to being a tractor through and through. What's important to note, many of you, as I was looking out in the audience, might not understand the ceremonies and rituals that commence on Memorial Day or on Veterans Day. You might not understand the posting of the colors or what's happening. And I know we have our keynote speaker today, Tractor himself and Mayor Belbazzi. But what's important to take away from today is each and every single one of these individuals in uniform are individuals who have served our country, individuals who have sacrificed not only themselves but also their families. And on Memorial Day, what we want to pay attention to is remembering those that gave the ultimate sacrifice, those who lost their lives in the line of duty, those who paid the ultimate sacrifice so you have the freedom and liberty to attend the school you are at today and go about your life in the way that you do. Freedom and liberty so that I can stand before you with a microphone to talk about Memorial Day and have that privilege to do so. That's what this day is a remembrance of. And if I can ask anything of you all, it's not just to remember the sacrifices on this day, but to remember the sacrifices each and every single day. And to not only thank a veteran when you come across them, but to ask yourself what you can do to uplift and move your community forward in the same spirit that they came to serve our nation to help move our country forward. That's what today is all about. This Monday, I hope you all have the opportunity to join us at the Memorial Day Parade, where we will honor many of our Purple Heart recipients from across this nation. As Dearborn has a strong and rich history of standing forward for our veterans, we actually have the longest standing Memorial Day Parade in Michigan's history, and that's something that we're proud to have. And so I hope you all come out on Monday. I hope you all participate, bring out your families and friends, and I hope you take a moment to listen to what these individuals have to say. Again, I have the privilege of not having had to serve because individuals standing before you did take on that risk and that responsibility. Thank you all so much, and I look forward to the speeches to come.
Very powerful. Okay, moving right along, great people. Now we have your superintendent of Dearborn Public Schools, Dr. Glenn Maleko. Give him some.
Thank you, Dr. Morris. Thank you, Mayor Hammoud, dignitaries. Good morning, students, staff, honored guests. I want to especially thank the military veterans who are here today. Let's give it up for them. It is great, too, that we do have, despite the fact that the mayor won't be at the other two, I will, but we were there at Dearborn High yesterday and Edsel Ford, and it's a great tradition, and I'm glad that we do this to honor those who paid the ultimate sacrifice at these Memorial Day ceremonies have been going on for many, many years, and they're very touching in many ways. I know in talking to Officer Garrison, it's over at Dearborn High, we get some teary eyes going as well as we remember those who paid that price. I want to acknowledge some of the board trustees who are here. We know President Barrett will be speaking. We have Trustee Mary Petlichkoff, Trustee D'Ambrosio, and Trustee Thorpe. Again, Mayor Bazzi was mentioned, and I know we have Councilman Paris here as well. I would also like to especially thank and acknowledge the staff here at Fordson who organized this very special event to honor those who have made the ultimate sacrifice while serving our nation. Special shout out to, we have two people that are retiring as well, Principal Alcadre and Assistant Principal Wardlow. We thank you for your many years. Let's give them a big round of applause of service. Thank you, students and teachers as well, for your support and for being here. As we approach the start of the long weekend, I know we're all thinking about how nice it will be to have a few extra days off, a little more time to relax, maybe get some yard work done or spend time with friends. There's nothing wrong with enjoying our holidays. In fact, it's important for our own health to be able to unwind and slow down a bit. However, it's also important to make sure we don't forget the true meaning behind this very special holiday. Memorial Day didn't begin with any big fanfare or special declaration. It was started by people who would gather to place flowers on graves and honor those military personnel who died during the Civil War. They called it Decoration Day, and over time it kept growing and growing. After World War I, the holiday evolved to commemorate American military personnel who died in all wars, and then much later the day became known as what we know today, Memorial Day, and was moved to the last Monday in May. In November, we have a day to pay tribute and thank our veterans, those who have served in the armed forces. But on Memorial Day, we pause with reverence to honor those who gave their life while serving in the military. We owe it to those fallen heroes and their families to never forget the true meaning of Memorial Day. Many who died while serving in the armed forces were at the very start of their life. They had plans, dreams, and hopes. They were looking forward to a future filled with friends and family. They were the next firemen, doctors, business owners, and of course, teachers. Like many of you, I too have had family members serve in the armed forces. My grandfather, who passed away 12 years ago, served in the U.S. Navy in World War II. I heard many, many stories from him, and he was very proud to serve his country. I'm fortunate. I was able to hear those stories firsthand, directly from my grandfather. On Memorial Day, we must remember the families who were never able to hear those stories firsthand because their loved one was lost while serving the country. Let them know that their family member is appreciated and remembered. Let them know that the ultimate sacrifice, the price that was paid for our continued freedom, will not be forgotten. President Franklin Roosevelt said, "Those who have long enjoyed such privileges as we enjoy forget in time that men have died to win them." I would also add men and women to this quote. So this weekend, enjoy the days off. Spend time with friends and family. Maybe even grab a lawn chair and make your way to the big parade that the mayor mentioned on Michigan Avenue, the longest standing, as he said. But always remember the true meaning of Memorial Day. Remember the mothers, daughters, sons, and fathers who served our country and gave their life defending our freedom. Thank you. And may God bless our fallen, our veterans, our active military in this great nation.
Amen. Great job. All right, moving right along. Now we have president of the school board and also one of the members who helped keep this going, a long tradition of Memorial Day celebration at Fordson, President Barry. Give him some, everyone.
Well, good morning, tractors. I want to also thank Principal Hiyama Kadre and her team, and especially Jackie Zaydan, Miss Jackie Zaydan, for the great communication. This is our 12th year here, and the man you're about to hear from soon was one of the founding group of people that started this ceremony. So I do have like a 45-minute speech I'm going to go over, but instead, I'm going to move aside because you got a special treat coming at you. We're tractors today. I'm a tractor. My good friend, Korean War veteran, an honorary Fordson alumni, a tractor by heart, introduce to you Mr. John Roslowski, who's going to say a special poem for us.
Thank you, Mr. Berry. Good morning. The fallen 118 military men from Fordson High who lost their life in World War II, Korea War, and Vietnam War will always be remembered, never to be forgotten, for their noble sacrifices. We acknowledge their heroism in time of peace and in war. This morning, I would like to read a poem written by Ron Tannemer, The Breath of the Brave, in the Spirit of Sacrifice. The breath of the brave. Our nation's flag waves proudly from sea to shining sea as an emblem of our freedom and for God and liberty. But freedom is really free, not free. It's a tremendous cost paid by armed forces for each precious life that's lost. And its final breath of these, our country's proud and brave, that is the force that moves the wind and makes Old Glory wave. Thank you.
All right. Moving right along, we're going to have okay, God Bless America, by the Fordson Choir. Give them some. From the mountains to the valleys, over the oceans we roam. God bless America, my home, sweet home. If you realize that soldiers have lived and died, that's history. But if you know they lived and died for your freedom, that is the epitome of patriotism. All right, we want to thank you all for your conduct. We want to thank you all for your decorum, and thank you all for saluting those who gave up their life by your beautiful lives in this auditorium. All right? As we proceed to move right along, we have another person who is the epitome of the tractor factor, and he is also a mayor, but a mayor of Dearborn Heights, the city of Dearborn Heights. We want to show him a warm welcome. Let's welcome the mayor, Bill Bazzi, mayor of Dearborn Heights. Give him some, Your Honor.
Nice suit. Good morning. I was talking to one of your teachers earlier today. She said that you guys are actually best of the best to be here. And you know, you guys are best of the best. And actually, this place brings a lot of memories. You know, I didn't prepare a speech today because everything that needed to be said was already said. So I want to talk about something different today. But first, I want to thank all the veterans in here. You know, we have a Korean veteran that served in Korea War. We have several Vietnam veterans, and we have veterans from pretty much from all the previous wars that we encountered. So I want to give everyone, all the veterans and everybody that served, a shout out, and also please give them a hand. Yeah. Next. We talked about the veterans and military that actually gave the ultimate sacrifice for the freedom and justice for all of us. So I want to take a few seconds of moment of silence, complete moment of silence in respect for the ones who gave the ultimate sacrifice. Thank you. Thank you. I want to start by telling you guys here, all the students, that I started many, many years ago. I was sitting in the auditorium, this auditorium here. Actually, it looks much better now. Well, at least I believe it looked better than when I graduated Fordson. And I just want to tell you a little bit of history about myself, but also the reason why I'm going to tell you these things is actually for you guys, something to look forward in the near future. When I sat in your chair, many, many, many years ago, actually, it was just a few years in country. I think we were like 4 or 5 years, not even 5 years in country. And at that time, I was still trying to memorize the alphabets, the ABCs. So we immigrated to the U.S. I was pretty young. We started at Salina. Then shortly after, I went to Lowry. And not even a year later, less than a year, we moved to Fordson. So even at that time, I remember I used to memorize things, I couldn't, say it like full words. I was still trying to learn the language. And the reason I'm going to tell you this stuff here is because, when I was sitting in your seat, we used to get a lot of negativity, from people. And, I want to talk about bulliness and all that stuff. I want you to always be positive, always strive for the best and always reach for the skies, because that's when I sat in your seat, I was like, there's no way I'm going to do anything with my life. At that time, I was trying to make, we came in with nothing, just the shirts, just the clothes we were wearing when we immigrated to the U.S. So we had nothing. So sitting in your seat, I think I had maybe 2, 3 outfits. That's it, for the entire 2, 3 years I was here at Fordson. So, but I never gave hope. I never gave up. I always had hope. I never gave up. I always wanted to do the best. I was trying to, I want to better myself. I want to do something great. So I never listened to the people next to me. It's like, oh, you'll never amount to something. You have an accent. You got a thick accent. You never do anything in this country. But you know what? I never listened. I always try to do the best I can. And, I had several mentors, growing up with. There were several people actually, Middle East, Arab Americans, Lebanese that actually joined the Marines before my time. and they graduated from Fordson. So when they used to come and visit from the vacation, what they call it leave, I would talk to them and, just to see like, there's better opportunity. Because obviously I knew I wasn't going to be able to go to college. I couldn't afford college. So the only means for me to be able to go to school, actually I tried it. Let me tell you, it's kind of funny. Now it's funny story, but it wasn't funny at the time. I was working graveyard shift. As soon as I finished high school, I was working night shift, midnight. I was working at a gas station in Detroit. And so I was getting off work, 7, 8 o'clock in the morning, come home, take a shower, eat breakfast, and go to school. So I tried that for a few months, but I was exhausted. So one day, I'll never forget that class. It was trigonometry. I fell asleep in class. And when I woke up, there was nobody there. They shut the lights and they let me sleep. When I woke up, I was so embarrassed. I couldn't face the students, the next day. So I dropped out of school, out of college, Henry Ford, and I joined the Marines. And, everybody's future is different. Like for me, that was my only choice. I had to join the service, but I chose the best service. Sorry, guys, I chose the Marines because I wanted to be challenged. But no, seriously, every service, we all do what's best for the freedom. But one thing, I always wanted to challenge myself. I wanted to always do something more. So I joined the Marines just about a little over a year from high school. And again, all I kept remembering is the voices from these people that were around me, people that I'm sure around you, they tell you can never do anything, you're not going to do anything, you'll never amount to something. So I'm going to fast forward. Obviously, I joined the Marines, and I started doing stuff like I never even dreamed of. I started, actually, when I first joined, I wanted to become a pilot, a fighter pilot. But again, the language was a deterrent. Like I couldn't really speak the language. I couldn't pass the test to actually go to flight school. So I did the next best thing. I wanted to work on airplanes. So I was working on fighter jets, working on bombers. But at the same time, I started learning, how to start the aircraft, how to taxi the aircraft. But you have to take tests for that. So I was able to do that as well. And so I did that for a few years. So I ended up dropping out of, I finished my term in the Marine Corps, active duty. I came off. I was going to college in the Marines. They actually pay for, military, they all do that. But in the Marines, they were paying for my education. So I was able to get most of it done before I got out, did my 4 years. Then after that, I decided to get out, finish my degree, my bachelor's degree, and I went for my master's degree. So I have a bachelor's and a master's in aeronautical engineering. And this is the boy that actually sat in this auditorium, and I was told that I was a loser, I'll never amount to nothing. I was able to get, a master's degree in aeronautical engineering. I worked on several aircrafts, worked on rocket ships, so it was, this is something that, like, I've always wanted to do. And I wanted to share this story with you is because I want you guys to be motivated. Don't listen to anybody that tells you guys can't do anything, because you guys can do anything. Once you put your mind over something, you'll always accomplish it. And one of the things, I've served with a lot of great men and women, and I tell you, I've done several deployments. I did 21 years in the Marines, and I've seen some bad things, and I've seen great, great men and women, die for this country. I've seen it right in front of my face. You actually see, I saw some of them actually pass out, people that actually passed away, people that I served with. So I want to make sure, like today, any day, that you always think about those that actually serve and to protect us, protect all of us in here. And one thing, you should remember that the veterans here, I don't want to get political, but they fight for justice, equality for all of us, right? And I've talked to a lot of veterans, a lot of stuff going on overseas, we don't like it. But this is something, this is not our American values. You know, because I know every one of us in here in the military, we're taught, you know, we're trained to protect people. And, you know, what's going on overseas is totally is not our values. Because we always, I know for me, one of my last deployments I did, you know, I actually went in public, you know, with the people, worked with the people. The locals obviously can't talk about where I was, but I just wanted to make sure you win the hearts and minds of the people in the country that I was at. And you know, that was just amazing, you know, just to actually work with the people, knowing that we're there to protect those folks, you know, the people there. So just remember that, again, you know, two things to take out of this is for you guys can accomplish anything in life. You know, just make sure you put your mind to it and always strive for your dream and for your goal. And always remember the ones who fought for us and died for us and who gave the ultimate sacrifice. All of us, we swore to defend the Constitution of the United States. All of us did in the military, but very few, you know, they gave the ultimate sacrifice for this country. So they say some gave all, and some of us, you know, obviously they're not with us, you know, they paid the ultimate sacrifice. So again, I don't want to sit here, you know, it was well said about what the reason why we have Memorial Day, and just remember that you guys will always do great things. Just make sure you put your mind to it and strive for the best. And I know I want to thank Mayor Hamoud. You know, he's always, he does a lot of great things with our youth, and he's very engaged. You know, we're all, both of us, between the two of us, we're trying to do the best for both of our cities, trying to make sure that you guys, and he says the same thing, I've heard his speeches in the past, you guys are my future and his future and all of our future. So make sure you guys do great things, and make sure that anything you guys need, I know my door is always open. I'm sure Mayor Hamoud, you guys need anything from him, you guys can reach out. So again, I want to first, last thing I want to say is the person that really put up with me all these years, I want to give a shout out to my wife, Nadia. You stand out. I know she hates that, but stand up. Yeah. Thank you. She actually stood by me several tours that I did overseas, and you know, I thank you for that. Again, thank you all. I appreciate you guys being here today, and go Tractors!
Over your left shoulder. Thank you. Yes, sir. Okay. As we move right forward now, we go to the wreath ceremony. Could we have the wreath team come up and present our wreath? We have 95 Fordson High School fallen World War II soldiers, 9 Fordson High School fallen Korean War soldiers, and 14 Fordson High fallen Vietnam soldiers. Thank you very much. Now we have celebrated the great young men and women who have died, but we also want to put the producers of our future on the program. So as we always say, you don't need to get into a school, you need a school that gets into you. We want to manifest that. So what we're doing right now, we'll have Noel come up, we're representing for the World War II gunners, and then we'll have Faraz for Korean, and we'll have Rami for the Vietnam. So we'll go first with Noel. Give her some.
Ladies and gentlemen, Sergeant Henry Tim. Although this name may not sound familiar to some, Henry Tim was a student whose name used to echo the halls of this school over 80 years ago. Today we gather to honor the memory of this hero who walked the halls of Fordson High School before embarking on a journey of service and bravery. As a young man, Sergeant Tim walked the building we stand in now, and that is Fordson High School, where he undoubtedly left an impression with his peers and teachers. Little did they know he would soon be called to serve his country with valor and courage. Joining the service on April 7, 1943, Sergeant Tim was assigned as a tail gunner on the B-24 Liberator during World War II. He faced unimaginable challenges with unwavering bravery. Tragically, on May 29, 1944, Sergeant Tim's plane went missing in action. It was later confirmed that he had made the ultimate sacrifice, giving his life while serving his country at the age of 20. For his extraordinary courage, he was later awarded the Air Medal and Purple Heart. Let us remember Sergeant Tim's bravery and dedication, as well as the sacrifices of countless others who have served. Their bravery echoes through history, inspiring us to cherish the freedoms they fought and died for. Thank you, Sergeant Henry Tim, for your service and sacrifice. Your legacy as a true American hero will forever live on.
And now we move right toward having Fawaz come up for the Korean War.
Good morning. As I walked down the halls of Fordson, I never really paid attention to how many murals are hung up onto the walls. Alumni, guys who were in the same position as me, who lived normal lives, went to school, played sports, and had the same life as any high schooler around the world. Damon, a Dearborn native. It comes with a load of dense culture and history. When I was asked if I would like to do a memorial presentation on a fallen former Fordson student who served in the Korean War, I accepted with no hesitation, because I always valued to learn about all the history of my community and the places around me. From this experience, I'm left with one name, a guy I never thought I would get to know, Damon K. Brown, who was a hard-fought soldier and representative of Fordson High School. Have a great day, and for the ones who live to tell the tale, thank you for your service.
All right, moving right forward, we'll have Rafa. Come on, give him some.
Good morning, everyone. John Curtis Wells, a Fordson High School sports and academic enthusiast like myself, demonstrated exceptional bravery and selflessness throughout his military service. While his courageous actions on the battlefield are something I can never imagine myself doing, he risked his life to protect others, and that is a testament to his unwavering dedication. While people might excel in numerous ways, John Curtis Wells' bravery serves as a humbling reminder of the sacrifices made by those who defended our freedom. At such a young age of 19, he was able to accomplish so much, whether that was training in multiple camps to succeed in the battlefield to evacuating civilians. John Curtis Wells now stands as a symbol of bravery, hard work, dedication, and inspiration to not only myself, but everyone learning about him today. And one thing I feel honored to say is that I'm walking the halls every day to a hero to our service that walked on. John Curtis Wells, a name that I'll never forget. Thank you.
Come on. Okay, so now it's time for the taps and the rifle volley from the ritual team. Ritual team, proceed. Come on. Let's stand up. Okay, as we conclude this program, I want to thank you all again on behalf of Mrs. Alcadre and the entire Fordson family. We would like to thank you all very much. You know, when as we in society always want to figure out what can we do to repay someone. You may not have 5 cars or 5 mansions to give. You may not even have $5 to give. But sometimes the most powerful things you can give are words. And you can just give them 5 words for the rest of your days. Thank you for your service. Can we say thank you for your service? And give them some. We're going to retire the colors? Okay, please stay seated. We're going to retire the colors. Gentlemen, proceed. If the Lord blesses me to be their age, I hope I'm moving around like them, still serving, still shining like brand new money. They look wonderful. And as they exit, can we stand on our feet and give these American heroes one more round of applause? All right, we want to have an address by your president, Mr. Berry.
Students, from the bottom of my heart, I want to thank you. Thank you very much for the respect you've shown for the ceremony today. And to the teachers, great job as always. I just want to get that out there that we see what you did today. Appreciate you.
Okay, and thank you again. You can never say thank you enough. And we want to thank the distinguished guests that's on our stage. And we want to thank you, distinguished guests, for being here. Welcome home again. Now, here's how we're going to dismiss. We still have approximately 6 minutes. So, Miss Alcadre, do we keep them here and dismiss when the bell rings? Or I don't see Mrs. Oh. All right, and before we dismiss by row and row, by Mrs. Alcadre's instructions, for all the years that she has served, can we get on our feet and thank our principal for her last Memorial Day service? We can be stronger than that. Let's go, give her some. Okay, we sit back down now, and we're going to follow your principal's directions. Thank you for your service, Mrs. Alcadre.